Okay, now that I'm wide awake and up and moving around, let me explain to y'all why I don't talk about Shayla like that. Because y'all don't talk about Wayne like that. Wayne is just as guilty as Shayla is. But yet, Wayne never has to take accountability. Every woman that Wayne has dealt with has not made him have to take accountability except Imani. Imani is the only one that held Wayne to the fire and made Wayne realize that what he did to her was wrong. Because you remember when Imani brought back that key and she basically hit him where it hurt? She hit Wayne exactly where it hurt. And that day he had came in there and Erica was there and she gave him his final check and said they were cutting ties. Wayne ain't used to that. Wayne is not used to one of the females in his life cutting ties. Imani cut ties with Wayne. And when she cut ties with Wayne, it hit deep. Because Wayne even said it hit deep when she said that she was moving on, that she was no longer an option for him. So like I said, the reason why Wayne does not go through consequences because there's always somebody that's going to be there to save him. The reason Anthony's not going to go through consequences because there's always going to be somebody to save him. The reason that Shayla's never going to go through consequences because there's always somebody there to save them. That's the reason I don't bring them up like that. Because there will always be another woman that's going to end up in Wayne's life that's going to think that she's going to be able to change him. And she ain't. It's no different than the situation with Anthony when it comes to Ro. If things don't work out between him and Shayla, he always got PR, he always got Ro, or someone new. So there will always be somebody when it comes to negative people that will be there to think that they're going to be able to save him. That's why I don't bring up Shayla like that. Because Shayla got her family. She got, people that will basically believe her, like Elizabeth and all the rest of them. Amber doesn't have that. Amber doesn't have none of that. Today is my son's birthday, so I'm going to wish him a happy birthday. But anyway, when it comes down to these situations with these people like Mike and Momo, there's no point of talking about them because they're never going to reach their consequences until it's too late. Now, Momo might reach her consequences now because of Diva, but she's been doing this before. That's why that dude is so hooked on her now, for the same reason. So it ain't like Momo hasn't done this before to men before. She has. Just Ralphie gonna be the reason she gonna get caught, and she gonna have to pay Ralphie back all that money. But anyway, long story short, like I said, Amber don't have friends because she still don't know about Calvin. So what I'm trying to say in so many words is with negative people, they're always gonna have a place to land. Other people may not have it. So some people can do negativity. They'll always have a place to land. Other people who are godly doing negativity will never have a place to land. They're going to hit rock bottom. That's why I choose not to do negativity because I know that I'm not going to have nobody that's going to catch me when I fall or be there when I hit rock bottom. I'm just going to fall. So it ain't worth doing negativity. I would say that to any positive person. It ain't worth you doing negativity because you ain't going to have nowhere to land. Because those negative people are going to strip you of every person that's going to be there to catch you when you fall if you pay attention. If you're watching domestic violence situations, that's what they do. They strip you away from everything that can save you or get you out of the situation to where you can't leave. So I get it. So you got to be mindful of that. So that's why I don't talk about Shayla like that. That's why I don't talk about Wayne like that, because either way it go, in the end, Shayla is going to be fine. Either way it go, Wayne is going to be fine. But Anthony and Amber, they're not. But even Anthony's going to be fine. He has a safe place to land. She don't. So in the end, she ain't got no friends, no family. So, like I said, who exactly does Amber have? She got a bunch of leeches around her. She got a bunch of wolves in sheep's clothing, boy and girl that cry, wolf sirens, vampires, and snakes. If anything, Brittany should be working on her case. If anything, Brittany should be doing exactly what that other woman is doing, hiring a private investigator and getting information. Like I said, it would be crazy if it comes out that Amber and Wayne did sleep together the night that Shayla and Anthony slept together. Then we find out they actually did sleep together, because you forget Wayne's apartment is literally a couple doors down. So it's not like she couldn't have went over there that night, considering Shayla was gone, Anthony was gone. We would say she didn't go over there. We don't know. So it would be crazy if they throw that monkey wrench saying that she did sleep with Wayne while they were married. And that woman comes up with a Hail Mary. Then what? Y'all gonna be sitting up there in shock. So that's why I said I'm not sleeping on his attorney. There's no telling what she might find. She might find some things that might be a little bit interesting. But as for me, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit back like the rest of y'all, watch the Country Wayne skits, and go mute. I've said everything that I need to say on these skits. Now it's time to sit back and watch and see what happens. And if I'm right about everything I've said, some of y'all gonna have to take your tail between your legs, and y'all gonna owe me an apology for all the negative things y'all have said. Because if this does turn out the way I think it's gonna turn out, both of them gonna walk away with nothing. He gonna walk away with what he already has. She gonna walk away with what she already got, and the marriage is just gonna be over, and that's just gonna be it. Because neither one of them have leverage. Because both of them did wrong, and their situation was identical. The only difference is Amber almost got pregnant by Wayne. Shayla actually got pregnant. Now, if it turns out the baby is not his, then they're both on even kill. The baby can't be used at that point, which means that Amber still won't get as much, because if it comes out the baby is not his, then that means it can't be used as far as the infidelity. So the only thing that's going to happen is that both of them are going to leave with nothing. They both going to leave with what they came with, and that's just going to be it, because that's what the judge is going to render. Why? Because both of them did wrong. And if he goes through the situation and he hears both sides, he going to like, both of y'all did the exact same situation. The only difference is you were drunk and you were sober. You intentionally slept with that man. That man was drunk. Why would you let your husband go by himself anyway? So again, Anthony, the reason why Anthony gonna lose if he loses is because he's not being honest. The reason Amber's gonna lose is because, like I said, Amber is too emotional right now. So they both gonna lose the case. Neither one of them, both of them gonna leave with what they came with. Nobody is gonna win anything extra. It's just gonna be like Tina Turner. You just gonna get your name back. That's gonna be it. So y'all better get prepared for that. So I'm gonna sit back like the rest of y'all, watch these Country Wayne skits. I'm not gonna say nothing else for a while. I'm gonna sit back and listen to all these other people say what they say and sit quietly and not say nothing. Because now I got people coming up here calling me delusional. Okay, I'm a delusional. I'm gonna sit back and just chill. Let it play out. But when Amber doesn't get what y'all think she gonna get, they still gonna be mad at me. Because they gonna say I jinxed her. How did I jinx somebody? I didn't. I'm just saying it for what it is. So if she ends up with nothing, then the only thing I'm going to say is, I ain't even going to say I told you so. I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to focus on writing my book. That's what I'm going to do. So as for these Country Wayne skits, I'm going to chill for a while. I'm going to write my book. I'm still going to help Miss Brenda as far as videos. She and I talk amongst each other about the situation. I might say something in the comments, but it's just a revolving door at this point. Same thing over and over and over again. So there's no point. After a while, I have a headache. So, like I said, don't get me wrong. I love doing these. I love y'all when y'all comment. But I'm done with y'all calling me a delusional. I am done with y'all making excuses for these people. I don't do excuses. They did what they did, and there's consequences, repercussions, and karma. Point blank, period. So y'all making excuses for them, you are just as bad as they are. Y'all claim to be godly people, but yet you're making excuses for their behavior. You cannot make excuses for negative behavior. You did what you did because that's what you wanted to do. Unless you were forced to do it, other than that, there's no excuse. There's no way in the world nobody should be able to manipulate you to do something that is wrong, knowing that there are consequences, repercussions, and karma. Y'all should know better by now. So at the end of the day, there's no excuse why people are doing negative things. So at the end of the day, I'm not trying to hear none of that. Because either you're going to do right or you're going to do wrong. But either way it goes, there's consequences, repercussions, and karma.